Portland, Oregon, you make my job just too easy. Too easy. This is a follow-up podcast. We had that concept where, hey, why don't we pay homeowners to house the homeless in their homes? We'll pay them $1,000 if they take in a homeless person and house them in there. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. Oh, absolute dud. Let's get into it. Here we go. Mayor's home sharing pilot program receives 5 applications in 4 months. Ah, best thing ever. What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. And we called this. I mean, this is such a no-brainer. Now, there's a couple of different comments in this article that are just, they're spectacular. I mean, sometimes you got to call it the way it is. Mayor Wilson previously called the model one of the fastest and most cost-effective ways we've ever provided housing to Portlanders. Now, let's go back up and 5 applications in 4 months. Well, I mean, okay, 1.25 per month, roughly. Home sharing program, Mayor Keith Wilson launched in conjunction with the Portland Housing Bureau earlier this year, is off to a dismally slow start. We're reading from Sophie Peel, Willamette Weekly. The program, in which the city writes a $1,000 check to Portland homeowners who list spare bedrooms for rent on particular platforms, including the Atlanta-based Pad Split, has so far received just 5 applications in 4 months. You know, these ideas, if you actually believed that the homeless weren't absolutely whacked out nut jobs on drugs, if you believed that for a split second, maybe this would seem like a good idea, but it's not. This is a horrific idea because these people should not be living in other people's homes. They need to be in rehab. They need to be in a psych ward, maybe a combination, or jail. Jail, because there's all kinds of criminals running around the homeless encampments, and we know this because they commit crimes all of the time. Anywhere you got a homeless encampment, you've got criminal activity going on. Selling, purchase, stolen goods. That's what funds the drug market, right? Then you got the drug market. You got illegal drugs being purchased and sold. You've got sex trafficking. You've got the ladies coming in who know that you got a bunch of whacked out, dudes who are like, oh yeah, it's go time. And they're able to, provide a service. You've got human trafficking. You've got all kinds of stuff because we have seen the police, we have seen the feds go in, literally in Olympia, Washington, recently in the jungle. You had a young lady get trafficked from Arizona into the jungle in Portland. In Olympia. So you've got known quantities of this stuff happening. And so, hey, let's come up with a program, administrative program, where we stroke a $1,000 check to Portland homeowners. Let's talk about that for a second. Exactly what Portland homeowner is going to go, $1,000? No way. That is great money. What could go wrong? I bring a homeless person into my house. What could go wrong? They won't clog up the toilet. They won't destroy the shower. They won't destroy their room. They won't, when I'm not home, they won't smoke in their room. They won't do drugs. They won't catch things on fire. They won't they'll take out the garbage, right? Have you seen a homeless encampment? Yeah, no, these people are not fit to live inside. They're not fit to live inside. So this concept of $1,000, here you go, here's $1,000 for people to house whacked out homeless nut jobs is just, it's silly. There's no other way to call this, but it's silly. It is this idea that these are just people who are normal human beings, citizens, and they're just down on their luck. They just missed 1 month's rent and they're homeless. No, sirree, Bob. No, that's not how this goes. That is just simply not what is happening. And so this notion that this program here, oh, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. When Wilson launched the program in February, he said it could be one of the fastest and most cost-effective ways we've ever provided housing to Portlanders. Cost-effective. Okay, this is news for reasonable people. So we're gonna, when things are true, we're gonna say, all right, we'll give you that one. Cost-effective. I'm gonna give you that one because you don't have to provide the actual housing. But what about on the tail end? Is this cost-effective for the homeowner? You get $1,000. I would want a damage deposit of $25,000 from the government. Maybe $50K. I don't know. How much are they going to rip my house up? How much liability do I have? Say, what if I call up my homeowners insurance, Allstate, homeowners insurance? Yo, Allstate, the mayor's paying me $1,000. I'm going to bring in some whacked out nut jobs on drugs who smoke drugs in the house. Can you give me some extra coverage? What do you got for me there, Allstate? What are you going to get me? Yeah. How do you think that'll go? Oh, yeah, we don't cover that. For a reason. Massive, massive liability. Mayor Wilson goes on to say that this program would remove barriers and unlock housing. Oh, that is a push at bad. What barriers? The barriers you have are to getting people into the treatment that they need. Those are the only barriers I see, because involuntary commitment is not a thing, and it's especially not a thing in Portland. So there's that, right? There's that. And unlock housing for renters in need of affordable rooms. Okay, I agree. Renters are in need of affordable rooms. But if homeowners want to go down that route, they will. They don't need the government to sponsor it for $1,000. And the government is basically going to pawn off whacked out nut job homeless people. That's the whole point of this program, is to get the unhoused housed. He characterized the pilot as just one piece of a multi-pronged plan to increase affordable housing across Portland and to end unsheltered homelessness. Okay, all right, so this is one part. But this is one part that we're just going to absolutely trash because it deserves trashing. It doesn't have any merit. It doesn't have any, I shouldn't say it doesn't have any merit. It doesn't have any basis in reality. It's like so many progressive liberal policies that people who live in a bubble come up with these policies and think, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. We'll pay them $1,000. Oh, it's gonna be great. But the paltry number of applicants so far suggests few Portlanders took the bait. Yeah. 5 in 4. Those ratios, those are not good numbers. Doesn't take a math genius to figure that out, does it? The city's program stipulates that a homeowner must rent their room for $200 or less per week. All right, so $800 a month. I mean, that seems like a lot, no? I mean, people around here in Bellevue rent for $1,000 to non-homeless people. So if, I don't know, does this make, I mean, and it's not subsidized? Does this make any sense whatsoever? Where do these numbers come from? I don't even know. $800 for a room, all right, but they're using a bathroom and they're going to use your kitchen. You just got somebody coming off the streets. You know, you don't want to say to those people, no, you can't live in normal housing. But these people who've been living on the streets in Portland shouldn't be transitioned into normal housing. They need to go somewhere where they can get the help that they need. Period. Full stop, right? And so $200 or less a week for at least 30 days before it's eligible for this $1,000 city grant. Okay, you're taking a massive amount of risk to having a homeless person come into your home. I mean, so you got some homeless dude who's 35 years old. He's been doing meth for 6 years, and you've got a 10-year-old daughter. No. Hell to the no. You got a female living in your home. Maybe a wife, maybe a mother, maybe a girlfriend, whatever. Is this a good idea? No. No, it's not. Because these people live like animals. Let's be honest. I know there's some good ones out there, and I know there's some people that need help, but there are already so many programs out there for them to take advantage of that I just see this as a try for. And that's what it is. It's a try for. Hey, let's throw this idea out there. And then some conservative podcaster will just put, bullet holes through it because it's so easy to do. The program also stipulates the homeowner must keep the room available for rent for at least 12 months. Okay, that's, all right. A little bit of a head scratcher there. But, okay, all right. $800 a month, 30 days before it's eligible for the $1,000 city grant. $1,000, $1,000. I'm not saying $1,000 isn't a lot of money, but for the risk reward ratio, this thing is wildly upside down. I think they're thinking that people just have spare bedrooms in their homes and they're going to go, you know what? This is a great and I get $1,000? Oh, this is great. Oh, a whole $1,000? 1,000, I get $1,000. And I move a dude in who, you know what I mean? Just like, what? No wonder you got virtually no bites. Wilson spokesman Cody Bowman cautioned that the program is still in its early days and that the city should be able to offer more information about its progress soon. Sorry, what progress? You've got no progress. You've got no program. This is a no-go. And this is a liability if I've ever seen one. I'm a real estate guy. Bringing homeless people in, especially Portland homeless people, into your home is not a good idea. You are taking on liability way beyond your skill set, period. But the city launched the one-year program in February, nearly 4 months ago, which means that a third of the year has already passed. We expect to have more to share in the coming weeks as the program continues to move forward. All right? However slowly. It's moving forward, but yeah. Candace Smith, executive director of HomeShare Oregon, told Willamette Week in a statement that matching renters and homeowners through home sharing is not supposed to be a fast process. Let me read that again. Matching renters and homeowners through home sharing is not supposed to be a fast process. I thought that Mayor Wilson said is one of the fastest and most cost-effective ways we've ever provided housing to Portlanders. Such a head scratcher, right? Which one is it? Which one? Home sharing is among the most cost-effective, affordable housing tools available, but it's not designed to be instant. But the mayor said it was fast. It's not? Oh, okay. On our platform, participants often spend 3 months or more getting to know one another before signing an agreement. Oh, that pace is intentional. Home sharing is not a conventional rental transaction, but Portland needs to get a whole bunch of whacked out nut jobs off the streets, out of tents. That's what Portland needs to do. So then this whole shift to pace is intentional, home sharing not conventional rental transaction. 2 people are deciding whether they can successfully share a home and build a relationship grounded on trust, compatibility, and mutual expectations. Meanwhile, the government's trying to bribe people with this $1,000. Hey, I got some candy for you. It's $1,000. Take in a whacked out nut job on drugs. Might be a rapist. Don't really know. The goal is not the fastest possible match. The goal is the right one. Goal is not the fastest possible. Okay, but right up here, yeah, one of the fastest and most cost-effective. This is the problem with these programs, is that their ideology is they think the absolute best of people, and they don't think of the downside. They don't think of the liability. They don't think of the, Yeah, is $1,000 enough to cover the massive, massive exposure these people are taking to bring these other folks into their homes? I mean, does that? And in one sentence, we've got, oh, this is going to be great, fastest thing ever. We're just going to zoom people in off the streets. But then in the next paragraph, we go on to say, it's a 3-month process. People got to take their time. Wilson traveled to Atlanta last year to meet with the founders of PadSplit, private home sharing listing platform company, about partnering with the city on a pilot program. City's pilot program appears to have been born of that trip. All right. Okay. All right. And you know what? I have zero problem with the whole concept. People want to have a place where they can rent out a room. It's just that the city of Portland is tasked with cleaning up its streets. You got a whole bunch of nut jobs running around, right? Some carrying swords. Some getting paid to carry No Kings protest signs, right? Some getting paid to carry F ICE signs in front of the ICE facility in Portland. I don't have a problem with home sharing listing bedroom listings. But when the government says one thing and then provides a program, and then the program provides zero results, because that's, after this many months, that's what this is. This is a 0, 0, 0 program. This doesn't count for anything. The amount of time, I mean, how much did Portland spend on Mayor Wilson going to Atlanta? How much was that trip? And we've got 5 candidates so far, maybe. We don't even really know. Whole thing is just, it's one of those programs, and this is what Portland, this is what Seattle, this is what all big blue cities are filled with. It's a bunch of programs that don't work. They think that, this is what's going to get us over the top. No. Enforcing the law, telling people, hey, you can either go into treatment, or you go to a psych ward, or you go to jail. Take your pick. Which one do you want to do? And then enforcing that. But you can't live on the streets. That's how you get people off the streets rapidly. But you don't have the political will, you don't have the social will in Portland to do that yet. San Francisco is doing it. Mayor Lurie down there is having some results. Now, somebody hit me up this morning on, hey, but Sean, what about all the Metal Leo videos? That's a commercial issue. We had the whole work from home, and then we've got AI, and we've got a bunch of other factors that have cleaned out the downtown cores throughout the United States. Not just San Fran. San Fran is getting cleaned up because you've had a super big shift of centrist policy. Centrists are meaning moderate Democrats, because you're never going to get a Republican in San Francisco. You're just not. That's like hiring one in Seattle. It's just like, what? No, good Lord. Oh, no. No, we're not doing that. Because these cities are not doing that. Portland, you know, could you imagine somebody actually... Christine Drazen is being held out as she could win as governor in Oregon. And I think she'd be a fantastic governor. I believe she would be a great governor in Oregon. But Oregon doesn't have the political will to hire a Republican. Just, it's not there. We all want to think it is. Kind of like in California, you know, our reality specialist is he's gonna make this happen. He's gonna get there. I know Spencer Pratt. I know he's gonna make this happen. And then some whack job left wing. I don't know. Is she a socialist? Raman. She takes the lead in this vote counting fiasco that took literally a month. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. So that is that is what we've got going on in Portland, Oregon. A whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. It's what we're doing. Portland, thank you for making my job easy. Much appreciated. You just lob up these topics. You just throw these topics up and I record them. And thanks so much for being here. I'd love to have you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next one. We'll be covering this one again, guaranteed. Yeah, we're discontinuing that program. There was a lack of interest. We don't get it. I'll do that one for you too. Thanks again. Bye for now.